everyone, Razor Metal here, back with another Pokemon news video on the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm really honored to have you here. Today we just got some huge Pokemon news from the 2019 press conference. A whole bunch of new Pokemon mobile games and features were just announced that I'm going to be running through today. I'm on Cerebi.net right now, and I'll leave that in the description below for you to check out Cerebi.net for all this new information as well if you want to see it for yourself, but I'll be covering it in the video. So let's get on to the games that were just announced. The big game that was just announced was Pokemon Masters. So basically what it is a whole battling game. There's 3 versus 3 player mode in Pokemon Masters, and you can see from the picture above, Steven, Diantha, Cynthia, Brock, Lance, Red, all are going to be there. Pokemon trainers are going to be there as well. And it looks kind of like what Pokemon Go needs with the battling feature. Pokemon Go has a battling feature, but it seems like Pokemon wants to make it into a separate mobile app, and smart on them because that's more money on their way. But there's a Pokemon section right here. Let's check this out. It says, Pokemon Masters is a mobile game developed by the Pokemon Company and Dana. Don't know how to say that. The game brings mobile gaming and the main series games together in a new element where you play as a trainer who faces off against many Pokemon trainers such as Blue, Cynthia, and more. The game provides a 3 versus 3 player battles where you team with 2 other players against 3 trainers, and your Pokemon can use a move or an item. The game is due for release in 2019. Also from the trailer that they showed off at the press conference was a Z-move, so it looks like Z-moves are confirmed for that game as well. Battling game, I wonder if Z-moves are confirmed, that means Mega Evolutions are coming as well. We don't know, but they did promise more information next June, so it looks like E3 is going to be a good spot for that to be an announcement. It said they needed to get more information put together in a video presentation to get together, so looks like E3 is when we're going to be finding out more about Pokemon Masters. But there were more games and mobile apps and features announced, and they were pretty big, might I just say. We have Pokemon Quest expansion, we have Pokemon Go news and expansion, we have a Pokemon Bank system, now called Pokemon Home, which is pretty interesting, and I am so happy because they just confirmed by this announcement that Pokemon Go will be able to transfer to Pokemon Go, or Pokemon Home. Let me say that again. Pokemon Go will be able to transfer to Pokemon Home, and Pokemon Home will be able to transfer to Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield. I can't even talk. I hate myself right now. And as well as the Pokemon Home system will also be able to connect with Pokemon Let's Go and the 3DS games, so you can bring Pokemon from past generations up to the Nintendo Switch, and all your friends from Pokemon Let's Go up to the Pokemon Home system, and put them all into Sword and Shield for the new release later this year. But although Sword and Shield are being released later this year, Pokemon Home will be released in early 2020, they said. I'm assuming January. That seems like a good time frame. Pokemon Bank, I remembered, was released around January, or updated, so Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon and Sun and Moon, and all those games could use Pokemon Bank. It took like a month or so, 2 months max, for everything to get settled, but early 2020 sounds like an accurate time frame based on past Pokemon Bank things. Now with Pokemon Home, it's a whole new system, so if they need to work out some problems or bugs, anything that they might encounter along the way, I'm sure that early 2020 is not going to be delayed. But let's also get to Detective Pikachu will receive a Nintendo Switch sequel to the original 3DS game. It will feature a different conclusion than the movie. So that's pretty interesting. So they were talking about at the beginning of the press conference the smash success of Pokemon Detective Pikachu in theaters. They said it was released May 3rd worldwide, and actually I don't think it was released May 3rd. Maybe in Japan it was. I think it was May 10th in the United States. But it was a big success over here in the United States as well. It got rave reviews. Actually, you want to know a fun fact? It is the highest rated video game movie on Rotten Tomatoes of all time. So, video games have a notorious, I don't know what I want to say. They have a problem when it comes to movie adaptations. They have a very big problem, and none of them are really good. I know, Assassin's Creed came out a couple years ago and it got panned, but Detective Pikachu seemed to have broken the curse, and a video game movie was actually good. So that's a good sign, and I think that they're going to be doing more with Detective Pikachu, obviously, and with movies, and obviously a video game. So a Nintendo Switch sequel will be coming later this year. interesting to note that it will feature a different conclusion than the movie. So I already said that, but it is an interesting thing to note because with the sequel, we will have more features and all new adventure, I'm assuming, but with a different ending. Just seems like that's what they're going to go on about. They didn't go specify much details, but they did say that they are working on it. I believe they said 2020, but I could be wrong on that. And then we will be going on to the next part where they said a new Pokemon Center will be opening in Japan in autumn of 2019. They showed this place off and it looked crazy. Absolutely crazy. It was black and white and it looked so futuristic. I live streamed the Pokemon conference and I was saying live on stream how crazy it looked and futuristic that it kind of scared me, but it actually looks pretty dope. Japan already has a couple Pokemon Centers, so they're getting another one. The design for the building looked pretty crazy, so I don't know how that's going to work, but the inside of the interior Pokemon Center looked crazy, cool, and I would love to check it out if I ever go to Japan. There's obviously a Pokemon Center and Nintendo shop in New York City here in the United States, but we don't really have a Pokemon Center like that. So Japan will be getting an exclusive Pokemon store where you can buy all the Pokemon stuff you need. They also talked about how in China, they're going to be expanding their market over there, which is surprising to me that they're not already influencing the Chinese video game culture over there. And I actually have a viewer, J2A, shout out to J2A, who comes to my live streams, and he told me that India, where he's from, actually does not have a big Pokemon market, which has 1 billion people, obviously, in India. So I was surprised about that, and I'm surprised to hear that there's not a big of a market in China as well. So they're expanding to China, which is a good thing, because obviously that means a lot more money, because there's so many people in China to be playing Pokemon. But they are going to be expanding the languages to Chinese, and they're also going to be giving us Pokemon Quest China, or Pokemon Quest in China, featuring Pokemon Quest, featuring player versus player and social systems brought to Chinese by NetEase. So, it doesn't look like Pokemon Quest is available in China, but I'm not sure about that. I don't play Pokemon Quest in China, obviously. I'm from America, so I don't know how that works, but they are confirming more expansion to Pokemon Quest, which is an interesting fact. A lot of people were expecting Pokemon Quest 2 announcement, but we did not get that. But let's move on to the next thing with Pokemon Home, like I was talking about earlier. Pokemon Home announced for the Switch and mobile. Connects Let's Go, Sword and Shield, Pokemon Bank, and Pokemon Go together. It also allowed trades features online with friends straight on mobile. It will launch in early 2020. So like I said, early 2020, I'm expecting January. One thing I did not mention though is that you can trade on mobile devices, which is so cool. They said in the press conference, as long as you have connectivity to your phone, you can trade at any time, any place. So not only can you trade with the Nintendo Switch like you would any other way, like the GTS system, but now with the Pokemon Home console system feature, not console, but feature on the console in the app, you can trade with anyone around the world by using your phone. So they are really emphasizing, this whole press conference was emphasizing the expansion into the mobile market, which smart on them, because as mobile marketing gets more and more populated and more games are being announced, it's smart of them to transition over to the mobile market, not just the consoles, home consoles, handheld consoles like they were doing for decades now. But let's move on to Pokemon Sleep, and this one, interesting. I'll say that. Very interesting. I'm sure, I've not looked at Twitter yet, but I'm sure there's memes everywhere, because Pokemon Sleep in itself sounds like a funky concept. Like, Pokemon Sleep? Okay, but actually, I was kind of like that. I was confused. I was like, okay, but who would buy the little feature that they were having, or little item that they were selling with it? It was like a Pokeball, and it records your sleep, and Pokemon can be, from Pokemon Go, can be in that little, item. I don't know how to describe it, actually, but you know what? I was confused about it, but then they were talking about more. 15 minutes passed, and they were talking about more of how they wanted to make sleeping entertainment. And I was like, how are you going to make sleeping entertainment? But that's when they emphasized that Pokemon Go and Pokemon Sleep will be integrated together, and that's how the system will be used. It tracks the user's sleep to add to the gameplay experience. It releases in 2020. So 2020 is when we should expect this. Niantic, the Niantic guy came out and talked about this. He didn't give us much details. I'm sure we're going to be getting more information later on, but Niantic, the guy from Niantic, said that Pokemon Sleep will be integrating so people not only get the exercise with Pokemon Go outside walking around, but now you get rewarded for sleeping. And for people like me who sleep a ton, we're going to get a whole bunch of points and XP and Pokemon adventures and, I don't know, everything Pokemon gets rewarded now by sleep. So I was like, who's gonna buy the little item that they were selling? I didn't get the market, and maybe that's the marketing major in me, but I didn't get who the target audience was. But when they explained that they were really going for the exercise and healthy lifestyle living, it made sense because Pokemon Go in itself gets you outside walking around. So the Pokemon Sleep now gets you at home sleeping and records another aspect of your life that plays a major role. So I get the target audience now with the connection from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Sleep. But let's get on to the next one, is the interesting naming. They deserve a creative award for this. The Pokemon Go Plus Plus. Yes, the Pokemon Go Plus Plus has been announced by Nintendo. It can be used as a Pokemon Go Plus for Pokemon Go and works in Pokemon Sleep when you put on the bed and it tracks information about how long you sleep. So basically just a sleep recording device. You can already buy this feature for Pokemon Go. I've actually never really seen much people use it, but I guess it's still out there and being sold. So it's smart on them to get a product that maybe is not that popular and adding more features to it with Pokemon Sleep. Now, I don't know, it could be a popular feature. I just never see anyone using it on Pokemon Go streams or anything like that. But adding this feature to Pokemon Sleep will definitely maybe boost sales for that. And then next one will be relating to Pokemon Go. We didn't get much Pokemon Go news besides the Pokemon Sleep thing, but we did get an event announcement, which is Snorlax will be in Pokemon Go now, where you can find it at Pokestops and all that. So they made it seem like immediately after the press conference, this thing was going live. So maybe I have to go outside, even though it's dark out. It's like past 10 o'clock now that the press conference is over. But interesting to note that the Snorlax event is running, I guess, but also you can find Snorlaxes now at Pokestops. I already said that, but you know what? It's pretty cool. You can get them everywhere. I actually have some images that I want to show up. They made a big deal about it because a lot of Pokemon Pokestops are right here, and a lot of Snorlaxes. They mentioned something about you want to catch the Snorlax before it wakes up. So I don't know how that's going to work. I'm going to have to encounter a Snorlax to really get that idea of how it works, but they did mention in the press conference that you want to catch the Snorlax before it wakes up, before it runs away. So I'm assuming that once the Snorlax wakes up, it just runs. It just runs. No hesitation, it just runs. So you got to catch it fast before it runs away. Here's the logo for Pokemon Sleep. Interesting logo. Pikachu's really cute on it. But like I said, the concept in itself, I was confused about it at first, but now I really get it. I get the target audience, healthy living. Here's the Pokemon Go Plus logo, and that's the item I was talking about. I didn't get it at first, but now I get it. But Pokemon Go and Pokemon Sleep interacting with each other, I guess that item has use now. Back to Cerebi. And we're going to finish off the video with Pokemon Masters, which I already talked about, but I'll just round it out with this. Pokemon Masters is a mobile game being developed featuring various previous masters of the Pokemon world. Like I said, Cynthia, Lance, Red, Steven, Diantha, all going to be there. 3 versus 3 battling system. Z-moves looked confirmed because Onyx used one in the trailer, but this press conference as a whole was about 45 minutes, 40-ish minutes I'd say. I don't remember. I think 40 minutes. I'll go with that. I'll trust myself on that. 40 minutes, and we got a whole bunch of announcements. And just so you know, the Pokemon Direct is next Wednesday. So we didn't get any Sword and Shield news, but they did remind us in the press conference that the Pokemon Direct is coming next Wednesday. Interesting, because it is 15 minutes long. 15 minutes long. 15 straight minutes of information. Our announcement back in February when they announced the games was only 8 minutes, and they just did some rambling on and talked about whatever Pokemon franchise as a whole. But now we're getting a whole bunch of news ahead of E3, and then even more information's at E3, because they said, like I said, with the Pokemon Masters, they were gonna be developing something for June to show off. So I'm assuming E3, since that's a huge event that video games like players go to, and news outlets cover that they're going to be showing off Pokemon Masters there. So Pokemon Sword and Shield will be there too. The Direct is next Wednesday at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then I'm assuming whatever time zone you have to figure out for yourself. The UK is 5 hours ahead of me, so 9 a.m. 2 p.m. UK time, I don't know. In Japan, that is like 10 p.m. They're 11 hours ahead of me, I believe. I don't know. Australia is 12 hours ahead, so there you go. But it will have like everyone's time zones in there, so most people will be awake. Japan will be night, America it'll be morning, and that's when the Direct will be coming up. But you know what? That's going to be it for today. I will be doing more Pokemon Sword and Shield news videos and more Pokemon news videos as a whole. So the Nintendo Direct is next Wednesday. I hope to see you there in my live stream as I stream the Nintendo Direct and then do subsequent videos afterwards. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, comment in the comments below. Help me out. Interact with me. Tell me what you liked about the video. What do I need to improve on besides my speaking, because I am a terrible speaker. But I will help. I shall do that. I will try to do that. I can't even speak now. I'm rambling. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, share. I'm Razor Middle, and I'll see you later for alligators.